Whereabouts are you?
I'm on your stoop.
You're on my what?
Your stoop.
What are you talking about?
Isn't that the Americanism for your front steps?
Alright, let me grab my car key and we will head off.
Oh, we're going on a trip.
Yeah, I told you we're going on a trip.
Where are we going?
We're going to the hardware store.
So me and Evie are here. We're going to go to the hardware shop, aren't we? Bark if we're going to go to the hardware shop. Go on.
Alright, so we're going to head off on a little trip to the hardware store because you were doing an odd job for me today, Matt.
Are we sure it's safe in this heat?
Yeah.
What precautions?
I think the question is, are you sure it's safe with my driving?
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, do you know what? I've got another odd job for you to do. I scratched my wheel.
Yeah.
See here? So I'd like you to colour it in black.
Oh, fine, bloody hell. 2 odd jobs on the hottest day of the year. My favourite type of place, a hardware shop.
Matt, I need a dark grey outdoor paint.
Do we need any of these?
What is
I don't know. Oh my god, there's just so much to choose from. Dark grey.
I would say something like this is an undercoat.
I don't know what an undercoat means.
Yeah.
Oh look, that's me. Smart Matt.
Alright, ready?
I'm ready to paint a door. Ready as I'll ever be to get out onto your roof and start painting.
Yeah.
I've got no idea how to do this. You seem to think I'm a handyman, and I'm not. Come out into the light, you vampire.
The brief is that
What?
fucking hell, that's hot. This needs to be the same colour as this.
Right.
You've got your paint. I'm putting 5 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, go.
A bit of paint on my hands, but as you can see, a lovely, freshly painted door frame. Mate, come check out your door frame.
Are you proud of your handiwork?
I'm super proud of my handiwork.
Matt, it looks so good.
Don't inspect too hard because...
You've done really well. I'm pleased with that. That's better than I expected, honestly. Slight slip up there, but alright.
Yeah, you know, there's a few, but then, you know, it's handcrafted. You've got a what?
PCA.
In 3 minutes?
Yes.
And what is a PCA?
Post-campaign analysis.
What's this for PCA for?
It's for one of our campaigns which focused on summer barbecue product.
I feel like everything barbecue related is actually sold out now.
Is that?
I was looking for propane gas, then asked why.
Really?
And it completely sold out in all stores.
Maybe it's because our campaign was such a success.
Maybe.
Any touch point with a client is a huge positive. And I think that lots of agencies forget that even as much of what they might believe is a hassle, which is pulling everything together and reporting on it, can be seen as a hassle, isn't, because it's a huge opportunity to sell the client on what you should be doing next, how you should be moving forward as a partnership between agency and brand, and also what worked and what didn't. And we see it as a huge positive. We really drill down into the data, we look at what worked, what didn't, and why that happened as well. Not just looking at the surface numbers, but also the numbers right at the bottom.
We've over-delivered on every single margin.
It's not called a margin.
What's it called?
A metric.
Okay, well, why are the metrics sort of 140%?
Because the influencers have over-delivered.
If that's quite normal, I imagine, right? If you're scraping at 101, then that's kind of a bit worrying.
It shows that the influencers are really on board with the campaign because they've created more content than they needed to.
I just heard that there was no raw meat shown in any of the content, which is quite interesting.
Quite often clients have different requirements like this about how we show their products. This one we couldn't show any raw meat, we could only show it once it was cooked.
I mean, that makes sense, right? Raw meat looks questionable.
It's also about health and safety, food standards.
So you don't eat meat? You're not a carnivore?
No.
You're an omnivore?
No, I'm not an omnivore.
Herbivore?
I'm a vegan.
Do we find with these CPAs the influencers that don't particularly work for campaigns? And then does that affect our learnings going forward?
That's what our whole CRM system is built on, Matt. We take the data from every single influencer, put it into the database, and then we know not to use the people who don't work.
Are those people blacklisted then?
No, we just wouldn't choose them. If they're not going to drive value for the client, no.
The influence marketing world is no second chances.
I mean, there's always new people popping up. Like, your old news, if you haven't driven results, we're not going to keep giving you a chance.
How many new people pop up on the radar? Is it kind of weekly? We're getting...
Oh my God, there's always new influencers coming along.
How do we keep track of this?
Campaigns team, they know everything. They've got a finger on the pulse, they know exactly who's coming up into the influencer scene.
Even on these ridiculously hot days in London, across the world, in the height of summer, we're still getting down to the nitty gritty to make sure we report for our clients and push the agency forward as much as we possibly can.
This does not open, does it? Oh, I've just gone through the roof.